What's up, Foundation? What's up, YouTube? Man, it's me, your big partner, Cartoon 53. Man, I'm here, man, with the homie, Neighborhood Real, as known as Mr. Pumpkin, West Side 111 Neighborhood Crip, man. Man, the homie out here, man, came out here, man, in Alabama. He was coming through, man, driving them trucks, man, and he finally stopped in to see me, man. I went to Texas. When I was out there, I stopped in and seen him, so the homie returned the favor, man. And I'm not gonna pass this opportunity up to get the homie story, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been wanting to interview him.
Part one.
Part one. That's true. I've been wanting to interview him and talk to him, man. So here it is. Introduce yourself, homie, to the foundation.
Yeah, man, on YouTube I'm known as Neighborhood Real, but you know what I'm saying, in the streets I'm known as Mad Pumpkin, you know what I'm saying, from Neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, like, I'm out here riding these trucks, man. This is what I do. So on my channel, on Neighborhood Real, I kind of get on some topics of knowledge, you know what I'm saying? Lately I've been kicking the truck thing, so if anybody want to know something about CDLs, that's what I do. I can give you some info or whatever. But I tapped in with Cartoon because, like he said, we returning favors, man. In the interview, he been begging me to do it. And y'all know that if anybody know Neighborhood Real, that ain't my thing. I don't tell the stories. You know what I mean? I just kick the knowledge. That's it. This is exclusive. I can say it's exclusive.
Exclusive.
I'm gonna give you some details, but I ain't gonna give you the details.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And the homie already let me know. I can ask anything, ain't nothing taboo.
Yeah.
That's, see, now, I like when I do them interviews, when you run across a person, man, and you say, is there anything that talk about, not talk about, and they tell you, hey, man, whatever you ask. That's when you talking to a person that's genuine, because they ain't got nothing to hide, man. One thing I want to know, first off, your transition from Texas to LA and then from LA back to Texas.
Transition, but it's back. Let me say you said it backwards. So the transition from Texas to California, my family live out there, right? Mm-hmm. My grandmother, you know what I'm saying, my grandpa and grandmother divorced. They split the family in half, went there, and half stayed in Texas. So I ended up going back and forth as a kid a lot. So I was, you know what I'm saying, my grandmother stayed right off of Florence at 9th Ave, you know what I'm saying, which, at that time, that was pretty much the IL on that side of the street. That was the bottom part of the IL, but it was kind of like vacant. The 60s took it over. So, I mean, you know, my family from 60s, so I've been knowing about the lifestyle or whatever, but I never was like trying to be a part of it, but I was fascinated. So just going back and forth as a kid, seeing the LA lifestyle, coming back to Texas, I would come back and tell my story to friends and let them know, like, hey, this what's going on out here. And they would be seeing all the excitement and shit and how I tell the story about what I experienced through the summer. So that's how I started transitioning back and forth.
All right. So can you say you had more fun in LA than you did in Texas, or Texas versus LA?
I'm gonna say both, really, because they on different type of levels and experiences.
Right.
You know, so I'm born in Fort Worth, Texas, so I learned a lot about the, you know what I'm saying, just the club life, because my mom and dad was cool with some people that own a lot of clubs in Fort Worth, so I got a chance to do that. I had the average childhood, you know, growing up, Pop Warner, all that. So I mean, there was good times right there. The times I had in California as a teenager, growing up, they different. It was a more you got to grow up fast mentality thing, you know what I'm saying? But it was still fun because the violence hadn't already kicked. It just wasn't all the way in yet.
Right.
So, you know, it was a different experience, and there was a lot of building process, and the different, you know, states, from the different states of how things is done versus over here. I'm always the country kid when I come out there, and they too fast for me or whatever, but it's a different thing, you know.
One question I'd like to ask, what was your experience in the gang culture like?
My first experience in the gang culture with my uncle, rest in peace, D Money. He used to come to Texas, and he would always be talking about, you know, West Side Crip. He wasn't C, he wasn't saying 6, he was saying West Side Crip, you know, and he would throw up the C, and, you know, he was fly, big dude like yourself, you know, long perm, you know, just fly, man, but he was a gangster, you know what I'm saying? And I was looking up to him, I was fascinated by his lifestyle and his ways. So that was my first introduction to Crip. And I knew about Crip like 6th grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
So once you embraced the culture, did it come easy to you, or was it some ups and downs?
Hell nah. I mean, just real talk. When I moved to California, when I actually moved to LA and I started staying with my grandmother, my mom and my uncle didn't promise not to let me get on the set. So I was like barred from being from 60. So when I would come down and be on the block on 8 or in apartments or whatever, they would run me off. If the OGs come down there, somebody knew my family, they'd be like, man, you can't be down here, man, you gotta go home. Your uncle knows you can't hang out. So by that, I had a homie, which, you know what I'm saying, blessed me to the hood, you know what I'm saying, RIP, you know what I'm saying, Blackie, you know what I'm saying, AKA Lil Ant. He stayed in grandmother's back house. So that was really my everyday introduction to cripping, you know what I'm saying, and the lifestyle was him, you know what I'm saying, the 111's coming over there to see him, and I'm back there every day.
So that's what kind of turned you toward 111s?
Yeah, that's initially, that was the only way I could really go if I wanted to get down, and I wanted to, at that point, I wasn't so much interested in getting down, but then as I started hanging, I already knew I wanted to be like my uncle, so this was my opportunity to step in the light, in his shadow, and you know what I'm saying, imitate him. So that gave me that opportunity, so I took it.
And once you took the opportunity, once you got into it, you jumped into it feet first, head first, and hands first, huh?
Not really. I'm gonna say honestly, when I came around, I was, you know, they be like, okay, what they call you? I was like, call me pumpkin, and they were, are you Texas pumpkin? And I was like, no, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of like it was a half on, half off type of thing. Some homies embrace like, okay, the homie cool. Some was like, man, from Texas, he ain't from the hood, fuck that. You know what I mean? So it was mixed emotions. So when I would come around, I would get mixed emotions. So initially, my first year, I really wasn't doing anything. I was just trying to learn it, like what that shit is, what that mean.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? What is that? Who is that? What that mean right there on the wall? Who is them people? Why we beefing with them? Like what the hell happened?
Right.
I didn't have the mentality yet. I had grew into it because I didn't understand why we getting into it then. What happened?
Right.
So I needed to know what the business was.
So once you was there for a minute, it became a lot easier to you?
I really want to tell this story, but how it go.
Come on.
Okay, so look, you know how we know, man. You know the foundation, y'all know, and you know how cartoons spill it, man. We can't bring up certain rivalries because you know people still feeling some type of way.
Right.
Even though we older, but I'm gonna say at one point we was beefing with 9-0, and I mean 9-0 really, I can say they baptized me into the game. You know what I'm saying? And certain individuals called me and this other homie, and they got off on us. And that right there was okay, that's it.
That was the go.
Doing?
That was the bell.
Yeah, that was it.
That's
okay. Ding, let's go.
Yeah.
You know
if this what it is,
yeah.
This what it's gonna be.
Yeah. So that's how that initiated it. And just as time, man, you know, just going through the city, it just evolved. You know what I mean? And you know, and it was like the '80s, so you know the crack was out there. Everybody was vying for territory. It was all type of guns out there, the money out there. You know, everybody trying to stake their claim, so it just got real violent.
That's real.
Yeah.
So when it was time to get up and go, it wasn't no hesitation coming from you though. Once you learned the hip to the skip. I'm saying I ain't saying at the beginning. I'm saying once you got inundated with it, it was time.
Hey man, I
go plead the fifth. Okay, I understand. Foundation, y'all know what that means when you plead the fifth. that mean it was some things going on.
This is my statement, man. And I say this with all sincerity and humbleness from my heart. If dudes actually knew who I was, they'd be mad.
Right. So you used to work in Compton though?
Yeah, I worked in the Campanella Park at Moe's Liquor. That's what it was named back then, right there off of Rosecrans. And I had got a little job, but this is the play. My grandma was like, hey, you can't stay here and you not working.
Right.
I was like, nah, I was hustling, you know what I'm saying, on Little Century. I was like, nah, my grandma like, for the kick me out, I don't really know nobody right there to go somewhere. So I was like, okay, I get a job, grandma. So I got a job up on Crenshaw on 77 at B's Liquor. That's what it was called then. And I started working there, and she owned it and other spots. So they had a spot in Compton where I would work out there 2 days and work right here 4 days, and then be off on Sundays over there. And I started working every day. But I go to Compton, get out there, never been to Compton, never experienced that. That thing.
Yeah.
I never been to Compton, never experienced that. That was a brand new experience. Being in the blood neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? They coming in there, people sitting down in front of the store really drinking. Like this was like some real hood shit to me.
Right.
I had never seen nothing like this, so it was a different atmosphere. Compton was a whole different type of atmosphere.
Different world.
You know, because I understood this the east side and we on the west side. Don't cross that 110. You know what I'm saying? Because it's something different going on the east versus the west.
Right.
So yeah, it was
That's
interesting. I ran into a few cats and had an altercation over there that I had to leave from over there.
But the majority time you was there, they never knew where you was from, though, huh?
Nah.
You know, like,
I with a long sleeve.
Yeah. I don't blame
my hair was long. I wouldn't work. When I go to work, I would pull it back in a ponytail. But I'm scandalous, right? I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared. Remember the old hats would have the name across it and the circle. I would go get a blue marker. I had a Raiders and I blued it out. So I would be in there working with that. They'd be like, "Damn, homie, what's up with that right there?"
Right.
Like, "Nothing, man. Just a hat, bro. I just got it off the shelf."
Right.
Just wearing it in there, and they'd be like, "Yeah, man, let me get some cigarettes and a buck." And I'd be at the door. What?
Yeah.
Oh, you want some cigarettes and a cup? Nah, nigga, I want some buck. Cigarette. I brought for Texas. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So, but I knew I'm playing.
Right.
So, what game of cover up? I get too comfortable. I'm in get a dough fiend, come in there and stock the cooler, pay him $20, stock the cooler for me when on a delivery. I come in there and help him. I get hot. I take my shirt off, and he see my tats on my arm. Man, you from neighborhood? And I'm like,
he done seen it.
I'm like, man, you tripping, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, the jig is up, though.
He left out of there and went and told them, and they came in there and T-rolled my ass.
Ooh-wee.
They came in there and gave me the business, and the only reason, shout out to, I don't know his gang name, but his name is Clip. He from Bounty Hunter, from back in the day. Shout out to Clip for saving my life, because he stopped.
Clip, how old would he be right now?
Clip, I'm 56, so Clip would be, probably would be right around 61, 62.
You know, the reason why I'm tripping.
He about this tall.
He about that tall?
Dark skin, he had the beard, bald head then, big Clip. He from Bounty Hunter, he stopped it. He worked in the store, he drew down with a shotgun. Told him to get up off of him.
That might be a different one, because the reason why I was wondering, because I was in the pen, my next door neighbor was Big Zane from 456 and a dude named Clifford from Bounty Hunter, but they called him Blifford.
Yeah.
We used to all live way together. I wonder if that was the same person.
He might have been. So he stopped it, popped the shotgun on him, told him to get up off of him. He's like, "Yo, homie, you gotta get up out of here."
Yeah.
So I get in my vehicle, finna smash out. They threw rocks in my shit, popped at me every time I smash out on road screen. You know what I'm saying? I'm out.
So needless to say, that was your last day at that job.
I plead the fifth.
Well, that was your last day as far as stocking shelves at that job.
Yeah, clocking in.
Right.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, one of the things that always amazed me, because a lot of times when people see you on the internet, they see you like either in your truck or, you know what I'm saying, like if you would go back and forth with Lokisha, they see the Texas part of you. Right. But now, people that's really listening, when you talk about LA, you know streets and areas, you know, like I always tell you, homie, you ain't from Texas to me, you from LA.
Right.
Because you know LA better than some dudes that's born there. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You know where to go, when to go, other than Lokisha running around with a tattoo on her arm talking about Los Angeles, right, and scared to even come into LA. You been there, done that, raised there, been through all the ups and downs, you know the whole gang culture, you know the streets, you know the whole hookup, you know what I'm saying? So you truly what I call bi-coastal, like the South Coast and the West Coast. You got the flavor of both.
It's a curse and a blessing.
Yeah.
It's a curse and a blessing, because when I'm at home, you know, I'm not like, I'm looked at as a California dude.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, you Cali. You all the way Cali. Your swag, your conversation, how you dress, you Cali. But when I'm out there, I'm all Texas.
Right.
It ain't never been, okay, you Cali now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's always been that distinction. And that distinction has been always pretty much my constant shadow.
Right.
So that's what really gave me, just to get some insight, to be honest, that's what gave me the leeway to maneuver a lot of ways when I was early getting into it. Because I can roll up on somebody like you. You don't know me.
Right.
You didn't go to school with me. You didn't know nothing about what I got going on. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
I was basically invisible. So I was pretty much, like I say, man, it was hot and cold. So some people was cool with it. Some people wasn't. So it's kind of like, go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you finally decided to transition and go back to Texas, how was the gang scene there to you? With you coming from LA and being really involved at ground zero of what's going on, you know the skip, you knew how to do this, you knew how to do that, you knew the lingo, you know who was who, what was what, and so now with them going, when you went back to Texas, them just really coming into it, did it kind of throw you a little bit?
Nah, because I came at the point of time. This is just the honest God truth. I wasn't moving back to Texas. My mom was sick.
Right.
So my sister stayed in Phoenix. She married. My mom didn't have nobody there. My mama was, so I'm gonna show up. So I just wanted to be there with my mom until she got well and go back. That was the game plan. But when I got back to Fort Worth, Texas, nobody was gang banging per se. You had people saying they was Crips, but there was nobody saying they was blood.
Right.
It was anybody. You could just be a Crip at any given time you want to.
Right.
And
Right.
it was accepted, and nobody challenged it. Just real spear, just a history. Come to Fort Worth, Evil Blood from Skyline Paru came, and he put the dudes down in the 6. And he told them, and that's how, Trent them and all them, they turned it, they said it's gonna be true. They can't follow that trend, but they came with their own. And he started showing them like, hey, man, you're gonna be Bloods, you're gonna be outnumbered. And I used to sit up in the center and watch them go 2-on-1, 3-on-1, letting them know, man, you're always gonna be outnumbered by Crips. So he was just giving them the blueprint. So once they kind of got in the game, once Stop 6 got in the game, it made everybody everybody had to start getting serious. And this too, man, it was a lot of dudes coming from Cali giving the game up. So it was kind of like the dope game, the cripping, and then it kind of was it was all over the place.
Right.
I gotta say this because I'm from Texas. I gotta say this, right? And this is no disrespect to nobody. People get mad at us in Texas about the cripping. I didn't bang in Texas. I've never done it. So I can't speak on that behalf, but I can speak on this because I know for a fact. Dudes came from Cali. They gave the dudes, they told them to set, how to hit it up, and gave them a sack. They didn't give them no knowledge.
Right.
And they get mad, and you know what I'm saying? They feel like we supposed to follow the trend from the land, but how can you follow a trend when you don't have the instructions?
Right.
The proper guidance. So there's a lot of conflict. That's why you get that from location, fuck Cali, fuck Texas. You know, we get these discrepancies when all the time, it's kind of like other states get treated like a foster kid.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I truly understand.
Living out there and living here in Texas too, I know the difference. I've been to other states with it, so I know the difference. It's some dudes that'll ride them sets harder than anybody in LA.
Right, right. And see, that's just like me when I came out here to Alabama and got locked up. I did not know that they had, Crips and Bloods. And then when I got here, I seen they had Crips, Bloods, Disciples, Vice Lords, and other little homegrown little things. So when I went into the prison and started doing time, of course, they didn't do it like we did it in LA. And at first I used to get mad about it. I used to get into a whole lot of stuff about it. But then as time went on, I learned, okay, you can't take something that comes from 3,000 miles away and put it over here and expect for it to be the exact same way it is over here. But now one thing I can say, and I used to tell the homies, I ran across a lot of good dudes out here in Alabama. They might not know everything about it. They might not know exactly what this, and this is, but the little bit that they did know, they were willing to die or kill about it, and they was down.
Yeah. That's what's up. I mean, and this just, like I said, there was no diss or no shade on nobody. But shit, it's a shout out to, to the land. To everybody that originated and had to suffer and go through the pain and anguish of what we did.
Right.
And even the ones where I'm from Fort Worth, it's a shout out to them too for embracing it. That we didn't grow up with this, in Fort Worth, we didn't grow up with that. So for the people to embrace it like they did, and then ride on it and stand on it, man, salute to them, man. Salute to every set from Fort Worth for that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or anybody anywhere else. Because if y'all embraced it and it wasn't y'all lifestyle, because in California, that's a lifestyle. That's a generation passed on.
Right.
So when you grow up in that, you don't know nothing else. You know what I'm saying? You just know neighborhoods. You don't know over here Pyrus, you don't know IF, you don't know Avenues, you don't know Westbrook, you just know this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your mama might have been from 5 Dudes. Your daddy might have been from Watergate. But now you from 4 Trade. You know what I'm saying? It's just being embraced, man. It's a lifestyle. It's just being passed on to the generation.
I try to convey that to a lot of people. Like, in a lot of other places, it's a pastime, and they don't realize when you see comments like, you too old for this, you shouldn't be this, you shouldn't do it. And that'd be people from different states that don't realize in LA, it's a culture, it's our lifestyle. It's not something you just lay down when you turn 40, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people don't realize, like you was just saying, we kind of dropped the ball a little bit because back in the 80s, when we were branching out, you know what I'm saying, with the dope game, we were just looking at getting money. and we would go to all these different cities, these different states, and start getting the youngsters to like slang and bang and do this and that, and like go ahead and let them claim the set, but not knowing that y'all gonna up and leave one day, and y'all leaving these dudes here with only a little bit of understanding and knowledge on what y'all just gave them, and so now they like baby wolves trying to raise themselves.
That's a fact, man. It's like, excuse me, I went to Baltimore, Denver, you know what I'm saying, and like Oklahoma City. You see, you go to, you know what I'm saying. I never been to Little Rock, but I've been to Pine Bluff. You know what I mean? It's like you see it, it kind of like that ain't how I seen it.
Right.
So you kind of like, I never went. Honest to God, true, bro, I never came back with the mentality of Fort Worth. People ask me this often. Why you didn't start a set? I said, man, if you knew what I went through to be for 111,
Right.
you wouldn't start there either. You know what I'm saying? If you went through what I had to go through day in and day out till I came there and caught my case, you would understand why I didn't do that. But I did. If anybody would ask me, I would give you knowledge. I would tell you what exactly it is, and I wasn't talking from a neighborhood perspective. I would just be talking about overall because I went all over LA.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not just LA, just the west side. So I mean, like, and I knew a lot of dudes, and man, and it was like I kept it. Like I said, I didn't grow up out there, so it was easy for me to maneuver. You know what I mean? And it was easy for me to get in the little cliques and circles of people and nobody knowing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, people don't understand when, like you say, they make these comments, you too old, you 56, why you still trying to crip? I'm not cripping. I'm not active. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm from where I'm from, and that's always going to be.
Exactly.
Nobody, I'm not going to sit back and let it say, what somebody say, take that away from me. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You can't do that.
Especially when you put blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Like,
They don't
you know what I'm saying?
understand.
I ain't never did anything that was detriment to the hood neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think anybody that I ever met, even according, you know what I'm saying, including you, I'd heard anybody did anything detrimental. So it be the times, man, it be essential that people tell the raw truth, man. Just tell the truth. This shit is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, it was love.
Right.
You know, the penitents, the rag.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
you know,
real.
niggas out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we out here like this, and it's whatever. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But on the backside of that, and that whatever, what about them homies I lost?
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
what about them homies that ain't here no more? And then I remember them times we was laughing and BSing, and now they gone.
Right.
Because of this.
Right.
So how do you know what I'm saying? How do you forget that? How can somebody get mad at you because you say this what you are? You still represent or still got love for it. They don't know what you done lost, what you done applied to that.
That's
you know what I'm
right.
saying? They don't know how much interest you done put into that to get back. You know what I mean?
That's
so
right.
you can't turn your back on nothing like
That's right. I tell them all the time, man. Walk a mile in our shoes before you judge us. That's what you do. Live the life we lived and walk a mile in our shoes before you jump in the comments talk about you too old to be. You should stop. They don't even understand that it's levels to this thing. Just because you repping your set or claiming your set, that does not mean that you out there doing drive-bys, writing on walls, shooting up, hurting nobody. But you gonna always uphold your family because that's what it is. It's your family.
Facts.
With that foundation, this is gonna conclude part 1 of this interview. Stay tuned for part 2.